Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this special meeting of the Board of Public Works, City of Los Angeles Board of Public Works. It is Tuesday, February 16th, 2021. I hope everyone is well and enjoyed their President's Day. We will jump right in. Good morning, Dr. Campos.
Good morning, President Good and Commissioners. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, establishing roll call and quorum for today. We have President Good, Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioners Caloza and Villegas. President Good, you do have a quorum at this time. Currently, we do not have any commentary under the general public comment section. We have no commentary under the neighborhood council comment section as well, and no speakers on the line from the general public on any of the items for today's special agenda number 1. President Good, you do have a quorum at this time.
All right. Hearing that there's no, we will jump right in. Item number 1 is approval of the minutes from Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021. Do I have a second to my motion to approve those minutes?
Second.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Do you hear any objections or concerns from Vice President Garcia, Commissioner Villegas, or Caloza?
No objections.
And for me.
Cool. All right, hearing no objections, the minutes from Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021 are approved and adopted forthwith. That brings us to item number 2, although I think what I'll do, Dr. Campos and colleagues, since we have actually, no, that we'll go ahead and take care of the bids. So item number 2 is the receipt of bids for the following public works projects. Sanborn Avenue reconstruction near Washington Boulevard Street improvement. Work order E1908465. Estimated cost of the project, $579,243. This is in Council District 11. Hi, Kumi. Hello, Dr. Campos. We are receiving bids, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you, President Good, and Council Executive Officer, for the opposition and the Council District 4 bids in total for this project. The first bid is from Help Incorporated doing business as Excel Paving for a total bid amount of $623,156 even. That's 623156 from Help Incorporated doing business as Excel Paving. The second bid received is from Aladdin Vintage Construction Company Incorporated for a total bid amount of $799,174 even. That's $799,174 from Aladdin Vintage Construction Company Incorporated. The third bid is from HVS Engineering, doing business as HVS Construction, for a total bid amount of $695,879.70. That's $695,879.70 from HVS Construction. The fourth and final bid received for this project is from JED Construction, that's JED Construction, for a total bid amount of $532,416.22. That's $532,416.22 from JED Construction. Mr. President, that concludes the bid opening for today's agenda.
All right. Thank you, Kumi. Thank you, Dr. Campos.
And we will need a motion to accept, open, and declare those bids.
Do I have a motion to accept, open, and declare those bids, ladies and gentlemen?
So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. Any concerns or objections, Commissioner Caloza or President Pro Tem Davis?
None.
All right, hearing none, those bids are received, accepted and awarded. And adopted forthwith. So thank you all very much. That brings us to item number 3. Item number 3 was continued from Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021 originally. Item number 3 is a task order solicitation, TOS number 701 to Kimley Horn and Associates, Inc. Recommending the board authorize the city engineer to issue the task to Kimley Horn and Associates, Inc. from the pre-qualified on-call bridge, civil engineering, and other design and support services consultants list to provide design support services for the Broadway Manchester Active Transportation Equity Project as stated in TOS number 701 with a budget authority of $5,317,802, including contingency. Again, this is continued from our meeting on Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021. Mara, are you here to present?
Yes, I'm here.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Marla Levana from Streets LA. The report before you is to issue a task to Kimley Horn and for design support services for the Broadway Manchester Active Transportation Project. This project is located in Council District 8 in South LA along Manchester and Broadway, which is 2.8 miles of corridors. These corridors are home to many schools, homes, businesses, and transit that serve the entire community. This project will implement a number of active transportation treatments along these corridors to increase safety for this high-injury network. And that includes protected bike lanes along Broadway, wide and center medians to create pedestrian refuge islands, new pedestrian signals, curb extensions, curb ramps, and sidewalk repairs. So we submitted an application for Caltrans Active Transportation Program to implement this project, which was approved by Council in 2018, and we were awarded the grant in 2019. Construction is estimated to begin in July of 2023, but this task before you is to provide support during the design phase of this project. And those tasks include community engagement, environmental documentation, surveying, plans, specifications, and estimates. We issued this task on LA Babin in July to 30 consultants on the bridge and civil engineering pre-qualified on-call list and received responses from 5 firms. We reviewed the proposals and interviewed each firm and selected Kimley Horn as the most qualified firm. We negotiated a base task of $4,834,366. So the total budget authority for this project is $5,317,802, which includes contingency. Since we are using federal funding for this project, this task is subject to the DBE minimum requirement of 8%. Kimley Horn is pledging a DBE participation of 15.61%. There's no impact to the general fund. The funding needed for this task is front-funded through LADOT's Transportation Grant Fund. Caltrans will reimburse 88% for the design phase of this project. Local match for transportation grant projects is typically provided through city staff salaries funded by Prop C. Therefore, cash match should not be needed for this task under this report. The total project cost is estimated at $46.6 million, which includes $5.9 million for design. The ATP is providing funds in the amount of $24.8 million, which leaves the shortfall of about $21.8 million, primarily for the construction phase of the project. To address this, we're developing a funding plan, which includes pursuing other grants, including value engineering as one of the tasks under this report to reduce the overall project cost. And we're also evaluating the use of city forces for the construction and implementation of this project. We'll report back to board prior to starting construction in 2023 to provide an update on our funding plan. That concludes my report. So if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Ms. Levana. Excellent work. Colleagues, let's open it up. Vice President Garcia, I'll start with you.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you, Mara. Good report. I don't have any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis? You're muted, Mike.
Good morning, Mara. I wanted to ask, what is the anticipated time period for the proposed project?
So the anticipated period is this task will finish in July of 2023, and we'll start construction then. And we are expected to complete construction by December of 2026.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Commissioner Pelosi.
Thank you, President Good. Thank you, Mara, for your presentation, and nice to see you again. I had a question about, can you just maybe talk a little bit more about how we chose this specific site? What went into the determination? I know there's a lot of areas that need improvement, but if you could just elaborate on that a little bit more.
Sure. I'll start, and I'll let Kevin also explain more of the history of this project. But the project really initiated in 2015, and it's been a very community-driven process to identify all these treatments along Broadway in Manchester, which not only includes active transportation treatments for safety, but also identifying, more other needs by the community, such as more trees and stormwater opportunities. And so this project is to address the active transportation aspects of that development from the community. Kevin, if you have.
Sure, this is Kevin Min with Streets LA. The Broadway and Manchester corridors are a major part of Council District 8's economic plan for their district, and they've identified this as quote unquote the lightning bolt, which includes Vermont, Manchester, and Broadway. And so they actually put up some planning funds early on in their term to do this community engagement. And so we've been working with them for many years now, and to identify exactly what to do. And as Mara mentioned, there's been a lot of feedback on making sure that there's sufficient facilities for bicyclists and pedestrians. And the hope is that these investments will stimulate the economy and investment in that area of the city, and bring more equity towards that part of the city as well.
Got it. And that's kind of helpful additional background. And so it sounds like you guys have been doing the community outreach for several years now, but you guys are still going to continue to do that for the next 2.5 years or so. Is that correct?
Yes. The task order does include a community engagement component, which will continue through the life of the task order and potentially into the construction phase. We also have separate funds for community engagement that we've engaged with CD8 to look into the other kinds of treatments within that corridor that they've been interested in, including stormwater and greening. So there's definitely a strong community presence in the scope of work.
Got it. Will you just share the community outreach opportunities with the rest of the board once you have them? I know that sometimes I like to sit in on some of your public outreach, just also for my awareness of, what the community is saying, just to get more updates on the project, since obviously 2023, many of us may not be here again to see the next iteration of when this project comes before the board, which is some time from now. But obviously it's a big investment from the state, from the federal government, from the city, to revitalize this area, which I think is really much needed. If you can do that, that would be great. And then kind of the last note that I have here, I know you mentioned that this 21.8 million shortfall, you're all going to be putting together a funding package for how to, put these puzzle pieces together to fund the rest of construction, including how you could potentially use city forces. I think, and I'm sure you're already thinking about this, but if for whatever reason this doesn't fall into a project that uses city forces, Obviously, 46.6 million is a large budget for construction. That might be one worthy of a PLA when it comes up if we don't end up using city forces. Is that something you guys have? I'm sure that's something that's on the table already. If it's not, I'm just gonna put that as a flag for you.
Yes, of course, that's still on the table for sure for this project. The shortfall is really, we'll see where we are in a couple of years from now. We do have some pending grant applications. We actually got a conditional award for the Urban Greening Grant Program for this corridor that will help offset some of the costs. And we have a pending application with Measure W as well for about $12 million. So there, a lot can happen in the next 2 years, and we'll definitely be planning throughout this course of time to make sure we address both the shortfall and how we go about building this project. And you're correct; it's a very large project that for us to build, but we have time to plan for that, and we'll do so accordingly.
Okay. Thank you both. Appreciate your report and look forward to seeing this project develop.
Thank you, Commissioner Colosa. Commissioner Villegas.
Hi, good morning, and thank you for the report, Mara and Kevin. I don't have any questions. Thanks for being so thorough just in answering Commissioner Colosa's questions. I know I've joined Councilmember Marquise in several events just in the area, just doing a lot of pre-COVID meetings with, community and such. So I appreciate this project coming forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. I don't really have any questions. I think this is a wonderful project. I think it merits sort of taking the leap and in terms of finding the additional resources to address that gap. But after a number of briefing meetings with you all at Streets LA and with T and a host of others, I'm confident that there is an adequate plan in place to fill that gap, as well as time. And this is certainly a project, and I would underscore the equity implications here. A neighborhood in a community, in a council district that has been that hasn't gotten enough love over time. And so I think this is a really exciting project, and it merits the city all sort of locking arms on it. So with that, do I have a motion to move this item forward?
So move.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. I got a second from Commissioner Villegas. Actually, this is subject to the mayor's cost containment process. So, President Pro Tem Davis, do I have a motion to approve this item as amended, subject to the mayor's cost containment process?
So moved.
Great. And do I still have your second, Commissioner?
Yes.
Thank you. Any objections or concerns, Vice President Garcia or Commissioner Colosa?
None for me.
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Hearing no concerns, this item is adopted forthwith as amended. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Mara. Great job. All right. Colleagues, that brings us to a series of bid requests. So let's go to item number 4. Item number 4, specifications submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids. The traffic light synchronization program, phase 2, package 1, work order E1908858. The estimated value of the project is $8 million. Cost of the project is $304,460. The bid receipt date will be March 23, 2021. Do I have a motion to advertise and submit bids?
Mr. President, before a motion is entertained, if I can just jump in, Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, there is a desire from this board to possibly move back into our regular schedule, which is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Accepting the bid date as a Tuesday, March 23rd may make it a little bit more difficult for us to start transitioning or exploring the option of transitioning. Therefore, if your board would like, you can adopt it as proposed, and we can make a motion in the future to change it to a future date that would fall on a regular date. Or if your board would like to do so today, you can consider the item as amended to move the bid receipt date to Wednesday, March 24th. That would allow us to start transitioning into a regular schedule. Again, I know I'm throwing out a lot at the last minute, but I'm trying to look forward in the future to see how we can transition into this regular schedule without having all these administrative changes that need to occur.
No, it's a good catch, because that's right. So I will go ahead and motion to approve the submission of these and authorization and submission and advertisement of these bids as amended to be received on March 24th, 2021. Do I have a second to that?
Point of clarification, what day of the week is the 24th?
It's Wednesday.
That would be Wednesday.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Do I have any objections or concerns? President Pro Tem Davis, Vice President Garcia, Commissioner Coloso?
No objections for me.
No objections either.
Okay. Thank you again for flagging, Dr. Campos. Hearing no objections, the solicitation of bids for item number 4 as amended to be received March 24th, 2021 is approved and adopted forthwith.
Thank you, Mr. President. The same would apply with 5, 6, and 7. I will inform this board of those dates when you read it into the record.
Perfect. Thank you, Matt. So item 5, specifications submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids. This is a project in CD6. This is Donald C. Tillman Water Reclamation Plant Burn Improvements, CIP 6205. This is a rebid. Work order SZD 11286. The estimated cost of the project is $6,794,600, and the bid date as of for now would be for March 30th, 2021. And what would be the next date available on a regular schedule, Dr. Campos?
Yes, the proposed new date to be received would be Wednesday, March 31st.
Perfect. Okay, that's Tuesday. Okay, great. So do I have a motion to authorize the advertisement of and submission or the submission and advertisement of bids for this project as amended to be received on Wednesday, March 31st, 2021?
I'll move.
Thank you, Commissioner Coloso. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Any objections, President Pro Tem Davis or Vice President Garcia?
None for me.
None for me either. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. So hearing no objections, item 5 and the submission or the authorization to advertise for bids on this project to be received as amended to be received on Wednesday, March 31st, 2021 is approved and adopted forthwith. All right, that brings us to item 6. Item 6 is a specification submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids, again, for a project in CD6. I think we just approved this joining the PLA world. Donald C. Tillman Water Reclamation Plant, AWPF, Advanced Water Purification. Yes, purification. What's the F? Never mind. Primary Equalization Basin, Emergency Backup Power, Avors, and EVIS gates replacement, screw pumps, inlet gates, Japanese Garden Lake Affluent Bypass. Work orders SZD 11344, SZD 11134, SZD 11324, SZD 11329 and SZD 11365. Estimated cost of the project, $83,191,000. Bid receipt date listed would be May 11th, 2021. Our next available date on the regular schedule, Dr. Campos, would be the 12th, wouldn't it?
The proposed new date to receive those bids would be Wednesday, May the 12th. Yes. And for those of you that are listening in, the sirens that are going off, it's it's not an emergency there. It's a testing of our elevators that are going on at City Hall. So.
And I would have muted, but I was talking, so sorry about that. All right, so do I have a motion to authorize the advertisement of bids for this project to be received as amended on Wednesday, May 12th, 2021?
So move.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Any concerns or objections, Vice President Garcia, Commissioner Closer?
No, I'll just say that the F stands for facilities.
How did I not figure that? Thank you very much, Commissioner. All right, so hearing no objections or concerns, the authorization to advertise for bids on this project and with an amended receipt date of Wednesday, May 12th, 2021 is approved and adopted forthwith. That brings us to our last bid solicitation item. This is specification, item 7. Specification submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids. Project is in CD14. This is high voltage conversion, Fed program unit 3, work order L20494451. Estimated value, $1,345,000. Current bid receipt date would be March 30, 2021. I will motion to adopt or approve this authorization to advertise bids with an amended receipt date of Wednesday, March 31st, 2021. Do I have a second to my motion?
Second.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Commissioners Villegas, Colosa, or Vice President Garcia, any concerns or objections?
None for me, thank you.
None from me either.
Thank you all. So hearing no objections, this advertisement of bids as amended with a bid receipt date of March 31, 2021 is adopted and approved forthwith. All right, thank you all. That brings us to item number 8. Item number 8 is the release of stop payment notice from Optimal Construction Corporation. Optimal Construction Corporation is transmitting proof of payment to satisfy the conditional release of stop payment notice in the amount of $4,154 for furnishing, drywall and framing, tapping, T-bar, and installation of subfloor plywood on the roof in connection with the Western Avenue of Bridge Home Initiative project. The primary contractor for this project is HBG Construction Corporation. Do I have a motion to accept this release of stop payment notice?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any objections or concerns? Commissioner Villegas, Vice President Garcia?
None for me, thank you.
None from me either, thank you.
All right, this release of stop payment notice is adopted, hearing no objections forthwith. All right, so that clears the decks for our special meeting currently, correct, Dr. Campos?
That is correct, Mr. President. I failed to mention at the beginning of the meeting that President Good, President Pro Tem Davis and myself are dialing in remotely from City Hall offices, and Commissioners Garcia, Colosa, and Villegas are dialing in remotely from home. We were joined and have been joined by our counsel, Mr. Ted Jordan. I failed to mention his name as well. But that does clear the deck for special agenda number 1.
Terrific. All right, hearing that clears the decks, this meeting is officially adjourned, but hold on to your seats. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this second special meeting of the Board of Public Works for the City of Los Angeles for Tuesday, February 16th, 2021. We have one item on this special agenda. Dr. Campos, do we have quorum?
Thank you, Mr. President. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. It is 10:44. We're establishing roll call and quorum for the second special agenda for Tuesday, February 16th for the Board of Public Works. We have President Good, Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioners Caloza and Villegas. For the record, President Good and Davis are dialing in remotely from their City Hall office, and Commissioners Garcia, Caloza, and Villegas are dialing in remotely from home. We're also joined by our General Counsel, Mr. Ted Jordan, who's dialing in remotely from home. Currently, Mr. President, we do have members of the general public that are on the line. I'd like to just quickly ask if anyone would like to speak on any of the items for today's special agenda number 2. This is related to the street closure at Metro Crenshaw LAX Transit Corridor. If you can please press star 9 at this time to raise your hand to speak on this item. Again, members of the general public that are joining the Board of Public Works for the special agenda number 2 on the street closure for the Metro Crenshaw LAX Transit Corridor. If you can please press star 9 at this time to, if you would like to speak on this item. One last call for members of the general public. If you'd like to speak on item number 1 for the street closure, if you can please press star 9. Mr. President, seeing no speakers from the general public on special agenda item number 2, we do not have any commentary from general public comment. We also do not have any commentary from the neighborhood council comment section, and no speakers on the line for item number 1 on special agenda 2.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Campos. All right, colleagues, we have one item on this special agenda. And item number 1 is street closure. Metro Crenshaw LAX Transit Corridor Project request to temporarily close Imperial Highway between Aviation Boulevard and Hornet Way for 5 calendar days beginning February 19th, 2021. That's this Friday. And ending February 23rd, 2021 to facilitate roadway reconstruction. Recommending the board, 1, find that the board has reviewed and considered the information in the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority Crenshaw Los Angeles International Airport Transit Corridor Project, Draft Environmental Impact Statement, Environmental Impact Report, transmittal number 1, and the project final EIS/EIR, transmittal number 2. 2, find under the California Public Resources Code, section 21166, and the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines, section 15162, based on the substantial evidence contained in the whole record that since certification of the EIS/EIR, there have been no changes with respect to the circumstances under which the temporary street closure being undertaken would require a subsequent EIR or supplemental EIR. 3, adopt the October 2011 mitigation monitoring and reporting program, transmittal number 3, prepared by the Metro as it pertains to construction impacts. 4, find under CEQA guidelines section 15091, the changes have been incorporated into the project, which substantially lessens the significant environmental effects as it identified in the final EIS/EIR. Further find that there is no feasible alternative or additional feasible mitigation measures within the board's powers that would substantially lessen any significant effect the project would have on the environment. 5, adopt the attached CEQA finding of fact and statement of overriding considerations, transmittal number 4, as it pertains to the temporary street closure, and find that the economic, social, technological, and other benefits of the project outweigh its significant and unavoidable impacts. 6, specify that the Metro Transit Division of the Bureau of Engineering, located at 1149 South Broadway, the board located at 200 North Spring Street, and other relevant City of Los Angeles departments are custodians of the documents or other material which constitute the record of the proceedings on which the board's decision is based. 7, approve the request, transmittal number 5. to temporarily close Imperial Highway between Aviation Boulevard and Hornet Way for 5 calendar days, starting Friday, February 19, 2021 at 6 a.m. and ending Tuesday, February 23, 2021 at 6 p.m., subject to the conditions identified within this report. And 8, approve the peak hour exemption request, transmittal number 6, on Imperial Highway between Aviation Boulevard and Hornet Way to allow construction work during weekday morning peak hours, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., and weekday afternoon peak hours, 3:30 p.m. to 7 p.m., starting Friday, February 19th, and ending Tuesday, February 23, 2021, subject to the conditions identified within this report. Work order E190735. And Larry Shu is with us this morning. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, President Good. Thank you for reading that in. This is Larry Shu from the Bureau of Engineering, Metro Transit Division. The Crenshaw Transit Project is an 8.5-mile alignment that will connect the Expo line to the Green Line, existing Green Line. And the project is scheduled to be completed in 2021, later this year. This request is to close Imperial Highway from Aviation Boulevard to Hornet Way for 5 calendar days, starting this Friday, February 19th at 6 a.m. and ending Tuesday, February 23rd at 6 p.m. This closure is at the far south portion of the Crenshaw LAX project, near where the new Crenshaw line will be joining the existing Green Line aviation station. This closure also straddles the border between the city of El Segundo and the city of Los Angeles. The work plan for this closure is street restoration. The major submittals associated with this closure have been approved by BOE. There are no unresolved notices of nonconformance associated with the work to be performed under this closure. The LA DOT concurs with the worksite traffic control plan for this closure. And as part of evaluating this request, staff from the Bureau of Engineering's Environmental Management Division reviewed the environmental documentation from Metro and generated a memo attached to this report, which summarizes the impacts and mitigation measures associated with this closure. The City Council District 11 has also communicated its support for the requested closure. Metro has performed outreach for this closure, and adjacent impacted stakeholders have been briefed on the closure. Metro reports that the stakeholders did not object to the requested closure. That concludes my report. We have staff from BOE, LADOT, Metro, and Walsh Corridor Constructors available to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shu. Colleagues, we'll open it up. Start with President Pro Tem Davis. Any questions or concerns?
Yes, thanks so much, Mr. President. Mr. Sue, thank you so much for this report. Could you refresh my memory about the Green Line, the scope of it? It goes through to El Segundo, I think I heard you say, and it goes to the airport as well as it's going to intersect with the Expo line at this proposed identified spot. Is that?
Well, this project is the Crenshaw LAX line.
Oh, I see.
And it constructs, a number of stations, including a station near LAX that connects to the airport metro connector. Mm-hmm. The Crenshaw LAX line will connect at the northern end to the existing Expo line, mm-hmm. and at the southern end to the Green Line, the existing Green Line at Aviation. So this requested street closure is near the southern, the very southern end of this alignment.
I see. Okay. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Vice President Garcia.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Larry Shu. I don't have any questions right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Villegas.
Thank you. And thank you, Larry, for your report. I don't have any questions either.
Okay. Thank you. And Commissioner Closer.
Thank you, President Good. I just had one quick question for Larry. It might be a better question for Metro. I think I asked this in the briefing, but I'm trying to remember, and you might have already sent me an email kind of circling back on this, but I just wanted to confirm when Metro did outreach to impacted stakeholders. This is kind of bordering right on the line of the city of Los Angeles and city of Hawthorne. Did we also communicate to the city of Hawthorne that this would impact their city essentially? I know it's such a small portion, but just want to be mindful of that.
I would definitely defer to Metro Construction Relations on that answer. If somebody from Metro or the project team could unmute and report on that, please.
Sorry, Larry, you're going to have to answer.
Well, Dr. Campos,
We
they
do
may
have-
need to raise their hand. I don't know if they can unmute themselves.
Somebody was here from Metro, I believe.
Yeah,
Good
yeah
morning.
we do have a caller
Oh.
ending in 573 that unmuted their microphones. I think they're just waiting for someone to, they're just waiting to jump in.
Good morning. This is Annette Cortez with a Metro Construction Relations team on the Crenshaw LAX project. The city of Hawthorne is part of our stakeholder list, so we reached out to them and to other neighboring stakeholders, including the chambers and LAX, and there were over 9,000 notifications that were sent out via electronically, as well as we had a door-to-door delivery service, deliver notifications about a fourth mile from the work area.
Okay.
And we also have press releases that are going out. So definitely we're reaching the Hawthorne area.
But was there like any direct communication from the city of Hawthorne, just to clarify?
No, our team did not, but we can go ahead and follow up after this call.
Yeah, if you can just do that. It looks like our traffic control plan, isn't within the city of Hawthorne. So just want to be respectful to any other work that they may be doing in their city that we may not be aware of, since this traffic control plan is in their area. If you can all make sure to specifically reach out to them. I know it's only 5 calendar days, but just in case.
We'll do that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then the other was really just a comment from me. I just really, I don't have any more questions for Metro, for Mr. Shu, but I just wanted to actually thank Dr. Campos and the board unit team, Anna and Cairo, as well as I think it was Georgia Dea, and also Larry as well from BOE, who actually I know works some additional hours over the weekend to get this agendized, because our board, of course, wants to hear street closures before the day of the actual street closure. And so I just want to thank you all. I know you all put in some additional time and work on your end to make sure we heard this today. So I just want to say thank you. And that's it for me, President Good.
All right. And ditto. Thank you all for giving this taken care of, Fernando, TJ, Cairo, et cetera. All right.
You're welcome. It was a team effort.
Thank you all. I have no further questions. Do I have a motion to approve this?
I'll move.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Coloso. I've got a second from President Pro Tem Davis. Concerns or objections, Vice President Garcia or Commissioner Villegas?
None for me.
All right, hearing no objections, and thank you, Ms. Cortez. Hearing no objections, this street closure is adopted and approved forthwith. Dr. Campos, I believe that clears the decks for special agenda item number 2, or special agenda number 2, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Thank you.
All right, efficiency embodied. Thank you all very much. This meeting is officially adjourned. You'll have great days and super productive weeks. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.